Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden 2005 in the Oakland Raiders franchise mode, and we are here in the playoffs. Can you believe it? Can you believe we've made it to the playoffs? It's the first time for the Raiders back in the playoffs in 3 seasons, 3 full seasons. I know this is our 3rd season, but in 3 full seasons before this season was the last time the Raiders were in the playoffs, which of course was back in the 0-2 season when they lost to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. So we are finally back, and we are against the Chargers in the playoffs, which, just in case you're curious, because I did go back and look that up, the last time the Raiders played the Chargers in the playoffs was in the AFC Championship game in 1980, which, of course, the Raiders would go on to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. So, in, the Madden era and all that stuff, all that legendary stuff. But that's the last time that these two teams have met in the postseason. It has been over 25 seasons at the time of this. So, and speaking of 25 seasons, man, we've got some records here, okay? Some record-breaking stuff. So, Tim Couch, as you're seeing on the board here, is now your current record holder in yards and touchdowns. So, there you go. In case, Tim Couch was your guy back in the day, well, now in this sim, he's the record holder for yards and touchdowns. So, he has over 6,000 passing yards, okay? Just throwing that out there, over 6,000 passing yards, broken, and 58 touchdowns, which is like 10 more than Dan Marino, who at the time would currently hold the record. I know a couple quarterbacks in the modern era have broken that, but 47 or 48 is Dan Marino's record, which is currently the record at the time of this game and the sim and stuff. So just keep that in mind. But we are already on offense here on a 3rd and 1 going up against San Diego, and Justin Fargas gets himself a nice little bit of room on the left side, and he's going to get himself a nice chunk of yardage here. And Justin Fargas has had himself a great career year here, man. 15 touchdowns. Still looking to crack 1,000 yards. Hasn't really done that or didn't do it in the regular season, but 15 touchdowns in the regular season is certainly something that we would love to see from Fargas moving forward. But Couch continuing to contribute to his stats here now in the playoffs, as he's going to find Chris Cole for a nice completion here, who also had over 1,000 yards in the regular season. But on 1st and goal here, Couch dumps this one off to Justin Fargas, who gets into the end zone. And so, as far as total touchdowns go, I don't know, but receiving touchdowns, I'm not sure, but he at least gets himself another one, and whether it's through the air or on the ground, we are seeing Fargas contribute in a lot of different ways so far this season, which I think has contributed a lot to the success of our offense. I think it really has. So, back on offense once again here, 2nd and 6, Couch back to pass here, dumps one off quickly here to the left side, and it's Justin Gage, who's had himself a career year. That's been one of the best pickups we've had. That trade that we got, from Chicago to get him here has just been such a great blessing for this offense. So, Couch again, back to pass here, drops back, and he dumps one off to the other side of the field, and now it's Brian Lynch, the young guy. I'm going to keep calling him the young guy probably when he's 3-4 years into the league. He's still going to be the young guy. So, but now it's 3rd and 1 as Lynch was tackled just about a yard or so short, and Couch back to pass here across the middle, and we saw this a lot in the last game against the Steelers, where Justin Gage across the middle was just a cheat code, man, just running a slant, and I guess the kids would call him a slant merchant, which I can't really argue against here. The proof is in the pudding, but we've seen so many deep bombs to Justin Gage here. You guys can go away with your casual takes on Justin Gage's style of play, okay? But now Tim Couch going to the corner of the end zone, and who else but Jerry Porter to cap things off in this drive, who also is your record holder in yards and touchdowns as a receiver. Just throwing that out there. Just wanted to throw that out there. So anyway, moving forward on 2nd and 5 now, 14-0 in this game here in our first playoff game in, I guess, our era, taking over. And Justin Gage is continuing to contribute here across the middle of the field, this time coming from the other side. But now it's 3rd and 10 inside the 35 of San Diego. Couch back to pass here. Again, plenty of good coverage up front, and it gives them plenty of time to find an open man across the middle. I think it was Justin Gage again. But San Diego also commits the egregious felony of grabbing a hold of the face mask. So tack on 5 more yards just to make this attempt to get into the end zone a little bit easier for us. So 1st and 10 at about the 15 of San Diego. Justin Fargas wants to get involved himself here, and he's going to get his 16th touchdown of the year. But I believe the NFL is one of the leagues that stops with the post. I think every league does, right? Baseball, basketball, hockey, they all stop. Playoff stats are different stats, correct? So it's his first touchdown of the playoffs, I guess, is how we'll consider that. Actually, it's his 2nd touchdown, first rushing touchdown of the playoffs. We already watched. But 21-0 now the score here in San Diego, and the Chargers find themselves in some desperation moments. But Phillip Rivers gets a nice jack here as he sends a pass downfield, and it's Richie Caldwell, who had a decent year for the Chargers. Not a great one. He had a lot of touchdowns, but not a lot of yards. But that's going to give the Chargers a huge boost. But it's quickly 3rd and 7, and now LT getting to the outside edge here. But he's going to be brought down by Derek Gibbs Gibson before getting to the line to gain. And LT, by the way, just in case you were curious, LT, by the way, just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, he now holds the record for rushing yards. He holds the record for rushing yards in a season. So he had over 2,100 rushing yards, which at the time of this game, of course, AP's record does not exist. So he's now the leader in rushing yards. But San Diego takes a field goal, so it's 21-3, and now the Raiders moving the other way here, and it's a quick pass once again that's going to be completed. But the first quarter is going to come to a close before we can see the conclusion of this drive. 21-3 again. I'm just going to keep hammering that home, this lead here, because pay attention to it. Hopefully our defense can stand firm at least. But if our offense continues to add more points, that wouldn't be a bad thing either, as Couch is able to hit Chris Cole across the middle. And for some reason, the last few weeks, man, we've really just been attacking that part of the field. I've just been noticing that. We're normally just the big bomb guys. Like Couch will just wait for someone to get open on a streak, and we'll just go for that like 40-yard pass. But we've been hitting and attacking the middle of the field pretty successfully in the last couple weeks. And now Couch floats into the corner of the end zone, and a very similar touchdown to Jerry Porter's earlier in the game, but Justin Gage now getting his own involved in this game. So we're going to add even more points, and now we're looking at the dreaded 28-3. Oh boy. We better score quickly here. We got to change the lead quickly here as Couch dumps off a pass here. And now Chris Cole off to the races here. It's a foot race, and he's going to lose it, but he's going to get inside the 20 of San Diego and give us another scoring opportunity on offense, and we can hopefully add at least a touchdown. I'd love to see another touchdown, not that we necessarily need it, but Justin Fargas is going to run up the middle, and he's caught in a whole web of players, but it looks like he had at least enough for the first down, so that will at least continue the drive. But it quickly becomes 3rd and goal, and it's a long goal to go situation. Couch back to pass, hit as he throws, and that pass is completed to Jerry Porter, but he's got to come out of the end zone to complete it. And he's going to get tackled before he can turn upfield. So that's going to bring up a short field goal opportunity for Sebastian Janikowski, who nails it through. And now we are taking a 31-3 lead over the Chargers, man, if you can believe it. And now we had a strong showing against San Diego in the second matchup against them in the regular season, but of course they erased that deficit. So if hopefully we can prevent that from happening here. We've already been in that situation. Hopefully we can prevent it in this game and just hang on to the big lead that we have. So we're back on offense here once again, 3rd and 3 here. We're going to hand this off to Fargas, and he is absolutely snuffed out immediately. San Diego's not fooled whatsoever, and now we're going to have to come up with something here and bring Janikowski out for a 46-yarder. Kick is up, and it is good. So Janikowski really kind of locking in here in the last few weeks of the season to help us out, after kind of, contributing to putting us in a tricky situation to where we needed his help at the end of the season. So maybe he was just, trying to get some job security. Who knows? But 34-3 now the score here, under a minute left to go. San Diego has to give the ball back again. Couch with a bomb downfield, and it's Jerry Porter who comes down with it. And that's more what I'm used to, okay? The passes in the middle is not what I'm used to. These big bombs down the sideline, that's what I'm used to in this offense. But either way, as long as we're doing both successfully, I'm okay with it. So in the red zone now, going to try and get into the end zone, and it's a pass across the middle to Justin Gage, who completes it and nearly gets into the end zone, but he's kept out by a couple of inches. So on 1st and goal here, time is still taken away. Couch is going to try and throw for it. He's hit as he throws, and that pass is batted down in the back of the end zone. That's going to bring up 2nd and goal, and the clock will stop. So we have another chance here. I'm going to try and get into the end zone. We're playing aggressive here. I like the coaching decision to play aggressive. Couch tries to nail this one in the back of the end zone to Jerry Porter again, and it is not completed. So now with just 5 seconds left to go, we're finally just going to send out Janikowski, just take our 3 points, and go home. Even though we could probably at least try to run it in and maybe call a timeout, it's not going to happen. So 37-3 is your score after 2 quarters of play in San Diego, and it's looking like we are on our way to at least the divisional round, but there's still plenty of time, and San Diego still has the record-setting running back on their offense, so we cannot sleep at all. And now Phillip Rivers here, getting things started early across midfield, and he's going to throw a pass across the middle as well. He says, hey, man, that's working for them. Why aren't we trying this? Why are we not trying this? As Richie Caldwell gets another completion here. So 3rd and 2, now we're going to fast forward in the red zone here for the Chargers, and Rivers fires that one off to Eric Parker, and Nnamdi Asomugha able to cut that one off and break it apart. So that ball hits the ground, but on 4th and 2, Schottenheimer is going to keep the boys on the field, and now LT getting that loose into some open space here. Can't get into the end zone quite, but he does get the first down for the Chargers, and their offensive drive will continue, but quickly it becomes 3rd and goal. Our defense is really doing everything in their power to keep points off the board for the Chargers, but unfortunately LT is just too much. You give him too many tries, he'll eventually get in there. And that's exactly what happens as LT gets into the end zone for, I guess, what would technically be like his, 23rd touchdown of the year, but, new postseason, so it's his first touchdown of the postseason. And on the ensuing kickoff, Philip Buchanan, don't tell me he has another one. Wayne, that's not a kickoff return, that's a fumble. Philip Buchanan fumbles on the opening kickoff. So Buchanan, who's been one of the great, just unwritten stories, I guess, like just unknown, unthought about stories on this team, he fumbles the football. So now the Chargers have another opportunity on offense, and this is how the leads kind of get dissipated here. This is how they kind of evaporate when you start giving unnecessary chances here to the opponent, but it's still 37-10, but Rivers going to try and erase that as he finds Eric Parker across the middle, who runs forward into the end zone for another Chargers touchdown. And just like that, man, the Chargers have added 14 points onto the board before we've even really considered what's happened in the game here, before we've even thought about playing any kind of offense. Eric Parker adds another bit of points here for the Chargers offense. So on 3rd and 2 here, Couch back to pass, and he's clobbered as he throws it, and that's going to bring up 4th down. So I just wanted to include that to show you guys just how much we are struggling on offense here in the third quarter, which is typical for this team. We typically kind of lay off the gas here in the third quarter, but Rivers is not laying off the gas as he powers one through the air, and that pass is caught by Eric Parker, and now Nnamdi Asomugha struggling to keep up, man. Struggling to keep up. We've seen that throughout the season. We've definitely seen that. Nnamdi Asomugha just kind of struggled to lock down his guy, just struggled to lock down his dudes. But now it's starting to bite a little bit here as the Chargers are getting just a little bit too close for comfort. 37-24, and now they're back on offense again on a 3rd down, and that pass is thrown and completed across the middle again to Eric Parker, who's starting to heat up for the Chargers offense, man. We might need to rethink our strategy on defense because it doesn't seem to be working right now as the third quarter comes to a close, and the Raiders offense does absolutely nothing of note to keep the game interesting from that standpoint. And it's not all been San Diego here in the second half, and now Eric Parker once again. I saw 2 guys over in the vicinity, but neither could do much with it here. And I think Derek Gibson had to make the tackle even. So 3rd and inches it's going to be for San Diego here. Just need to try and at least punch it in a little bit if at all possible. They're going to fake the handoff, and Rivers throws an interception. It's Philip Buchanan who fumbled earlier, and now he's got this one going the other way, and it's only Antonio Gates who's even in the vicinity, but of course he doesn't have the speed to get to Philip Buchanan, and now Buchanan is gone in the end zone for a pick 6, and that's a record-setting pick 6, 104 yards to the house for Philip Buchanan, if you can believe it, folks. What you're seeing on the screen is not a lie, okay? It's not made up, it's not fake news, it is all real. And now 44-24 is the score here as Philip Buchanan gives us a huge boost through on the scoreboard after our offense has gone completely stagnant here in the second half, which again, they still are, but that pick 6 really gives us some padding here. But San Diego's still not dead yet. They're still trying, but on 3rd and down, and Nnamdi Asomugha finally catches up to a ball and breaks up another pass here, deflects it. Good job from him. But it's 4th and 10, and now in do-or-die time, the season on the line, you got to keep the boys on the field here. So on 4th and 10, Rivers is able to hit Eric Parker on the next play, man. Gosh, I thought Nnamdi Asomugha was starting to kind of get the hang of it, but no. It's another incompletion. Or it's another completion, excuse me. And Eric Parker is continuing to just feast on that side of the field. Nnamdi Asomugha trying his best. It just does not seem to be working. So, but it's another 3rd down as our defense is still applying a lot of pressure to the Chargers offense. Oh my goodness, what a pancake. Did you guys see that? What a pancake. Oh my goodness, what a terrible pancake. But Rivers, unable to find anywhere to go with the football, gets hit as he throws, and that's going to bring up 4th and 8. And again, the Chargers are back on the field. Their offense is back on the field, trying to get into the end zone, and that pass is broken up, and that's going to be turnover on downs for San Diego, which should just about spell the end of this game for the Chargers here. But there's still plenty of time, and they're back on offense again, as our offense still just struggling to do anything in the second half. And Eric Parker has been the story all game, man. All game he's been the story for this chart. I mean, not all game, but in the second half. Who am I kidding? Just in the second half, he's been the story, as the Chargers have just been able to rely on him consistently. But now, finally, Rivers goes somewhere else with it, and he goes to Richie Caldwell once again. And Ken Dyson is somewhere in the field, I think. I don't think he's injured. I think he's somewhere. Yeah, there he is at the bottom of your screen. He's there. They're just not going to him. So I guess I got to be careful what I wish for, as Richie Caldwell gets another completion across the middle for a 1st down for the Chargers. And now San Diego really trying to get themselves back in the game here, down 20. I don't think they have much of a chance, but they're still trying. So Rivers back to pass here, fires one towards the end zone, and they're going to say that was good. And I think it's Ken Dyson. That might be his first catch of the game. But they're going to say that he was good and in the end zone. I don't know about that myself, but they're going to say that he was. So on 44-31, we're going to hand this one off to Fargas here, try and ice the game. And he's going to fumble the football, and the Chargers are going to land on top of it. And now San Diego here, hold on a second, man. We might see something from San Diego, but hold on. The booth doesn't like the look of that, man. I think under 2 minutes. Is that a rule back in this time? Under 2 minutes you can't challenge it? I'm not sure, but the booth wants to take a look at this because they think Fargas might have been down. And there you can see kind of how the game kind of tracks the ball when it comes loose. I think he might have been down. It's another close call, but I think he might have been down. So if he is ruled down, then that will give us the ball back and essentially ice the game for the Chargers, man. They would not be able to answer back, man. We would be able to take the victory here, and now we're going to see what the ref declares, and the play is reversed, and that's going to do it for the game, man, as we'd be able to run out the rest of the minute and a half that was left on the clock. 44-31, we managed to hang on to the big lead. Phillip Buchanan's pick six, now remember, because the score would have been 37-31, would have been a different ball game, but Phillip Buchanan's pick six really going to help pad our lead a bit, changed up the gameplay a little bit, helped us relax a little bit. You know, we didn't have to play as hard, but I still would have liked to have seen a full 60 minutes, in air quotes, 60 minutes from this offense here. I'm not sure how that's going to bode for the rest of the postseason, but I said before, and I've said it a bunch of times throughout the season, I know this offense could really do some damage if they were just kind of left to their own devices. If they were kind of allowed to just kind of be in the postseason, they would be able to do some damage. And San Diego did not have an offense that could meet 41 points. They just did not have it. So Tim Couch doesn't even have one of his most dazzling games throwing-wise, but it's still just efficient. It was what we needed. Again, if they played a full game, we would have seen it, but we didn't. But Justin Fargas has a good game. Justin Gage, of course, has a good game. He was really big talking piece in the first half, and then it just kind of switched to Eric Parker in the second half for San Diego. But we won our first playoff game in this era, this sim that we're doing here. And looking at the rest of the wild card round here, the Redskins beat the Packers. The Jets, who are the lowest seed, or the worst team in the playoffs, they do beat the Broncos, so our divisional rivals are out of it. And then the Buccaneers beat the Cowboys in another famous playoff matchup. So in the divisional round, here's how things are looking here. The Jets are playing the Titans on the other side of the AFC, and we're going to be playing the Ravens again, man. Looking for some revenge against Baltimore, man. I think we can beat them with another chance. So hopefully we can and make it to the championship game, but we got a long way to go. So up to you guys in Baltimore against the Ravens.